Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. We're going to skip our hemp news segment tonight. We have a guest on from France, from Lyon, France, Laurent Appel. So Laurent Appel is a longtime cannabis activist. We'll be interviewing him. We also have an excerpt from his movie, Hemp in Switzerland, and a trailer for a new movie that's been in production for a long, long time, but is finally coming out this fall, The Green Goddess. So stay tuned to the very end of the show to see a little excerpt from The Green Goddess.
I feel the force.
If you or a loved one are looking for help getting a medical marijuana permit anywhere in the United States, we have a physician referral service. If you have any questions, you can call our office at 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. So without further ado, here is Laurent Appel in Lyon, France. I would like to introduce Laurent Appel. It's French, and so Laurent is in France. Are you in Paris, Laurent?
No, I thought Paris is too expensive, and now I'm in Lyon. That's the second biggest city in France.
Lyon. And after we saw each other in Irun, in the Basque Country in Spain, you and I were on a panel in 2014, and when I left there, I drove through Lyon and on to Switzerland from there, and took my family up through there. It was a pretty nice trip. I rented a big van.
He was again in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Back on the crime scene. Okay, I was there also. We were at the same time at the same place. That's crazy. We don't meet each other because I was in Switzerland during the golden age.
Did you really worked in Switzerland myself with a friend of mine, Chris Iverson, first in the name of the little town escapes me right now. Then he moved near Zurich, Freiburg, I think it is.
Freiburg, yeah. I was in Murten. In Murten.
Land. The fellow at Cannabis Land. My friend made a lot of cuttings, and he was leased half a hectare in. So I went and worked in his cannabis field. One came back the next year just to visit. But boy, that was the golden age temporarily there from 1997 till 2002, where cannabis was kind of legal in Switzerland, right?
A little bit more. I ran away like in USA. I run from state to state, from canton to canton, and I stopped in 2005. I was stopped in 2005. It was really the end of the fields and stuff like that. And the last canton where it was possible was totally closed now, and they destroyed the last fields with tanks, directly rolling on the field with tanks. And after that, like napalm, like napalm stuff.
What we made a movie there in Switzerland called The Green Goddess, and we filmed it back in 2002 with the cooperation of the Swiss police. And that movie, after almost 20 years, has finally been picked up by Summerhill Entertainment and will be released this fall. So Look for The Green Goddess. It's kind of a comedy. It's
got a lot of animations. It's very psychedelic.
Okay, talking about movie, I will make also a little advertise for my movie, Amp
Okay.
in Switzerland. You can check it, Amp in Switzerland, with my name, Laurent Appel, and Philippe Lachambre, and you will see all the golden age, because it's like 1 hour documentary about the golden age in Switzerland of Amp.
Well, we might
you will.
minutes of it and here. So it's in French,
Yeah,
obviously, right?
it's in different languages, but subtitle in English. Wow,
Oh.
cool.
So is it on YouTube?
Yes, no problem. Amp in Switzerland, easy
Yeah.
to find.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing that. I haven't seen that.
Oh yes, it's a must see for you. You will be very happy to see it. Really, with a lot of people from this golden age, really, like Bernard Rappa, like Felix Scouts, like a lot of people like that.
All
Very,
right.
very interesting.
So, what is the situation today in France with cannabis and hemp?
For cannabis and for hemp, it's like it was when I started to smoke in 1980.
So no progress in 40 years, really.
We are back in the worst situation ever. Because now, for example, for cannabis, we have really an active war on the field with a lot of tests. And if you're without any cannabis on you, but test is blue, and they are coming to your home to check if you don't have plants or something. And they are taking a lot of people.
When they test you, are they testing your bodily fluids, or
they test with a wiper and or different system? It depends on the police. But but it's really crazy, because without any problems, no possession, no smoking in the street, even if you walk in the street and you don't drive, nothing, you can be checked, test, and go to your home.
So do they fine you? Do they give you a criminal charge?
Yeah, you have a fine first, and after that, it depends of your record. If you clean, first one, you only have 200 euros of fine. If you're red, and it's not good. You go directly to the court.
So are there false positives in these tests?
Yes, as usual. Like 80% are real and 20% are fakes.
And
right. But sometimes with the fakes, they go to your home and they find your home growing, and you're fucked.
Yeah. So basically, it's without probable cause. Explain the judicial system. And it's one of the oldest. Is it still based on? Excuse my ignorance. The Napoleonic codes and.
Yeah, we are imperialist and very traditionalist. We don't change this kind of thing very quickly, you know. And remember, it's near all around the world, our system. Napoleon spread it, so it's difficult to change it in the country of Napoleon. Yes, we have a problem really, because the law, officially the law, is 1 year and 10,000 euros of fine for smoking only. Only smoking. If you have possession, it could be 3 to 5. Okay, and if you have plants, it could be 5 years and 1 million. And I'm the oldest. I'm the chief, so it's 30 years and 2 millions for me. Okay, this is the risk.
When is the last time you were subjected to this?
The last time I was checked. And I ran to the police. Last time I go to my plug, like 25 days ago, I escaped. I have to escape because police all around, fucking shit. And I was positive.
They test you for cannabis.
They test you in the street for cannabis. If you are red eyes, or if you are near a plug or something like that, chance that test. Let's go to your home.
Wow, I did not realize it was so intrusive. You know,
it's new. We have a new minister from cops, from pigs, really, because it's a pig. This guy is terrible. Gérald Darmanin is really a horrible guy.
Is this
Like
because
the worst in America.
the Macron government is
Yes, the
implementing?
Macron government is horrible, basically, but they change, and we've got really, really, really bad guys with really totally demagogue, like we said in France. So no truth is nothing. They are lying all the time. We are in a post-reality. Oh,
Wow.
well, they are
Tell me
lying all
about
the time.
the movement to legalize cannabis. Is
The
there
movement to legalize. Oh,
in France? I know there's a
yeah.
normal France, and I know you've been involved. What's your
I
organization?
was a founder of Normal Friends
Yeah.
with Mario Lap.
Oh, okay.
If you know
And he
Mario,
passed, right?
rest in peace. Rest in peace. But Mario Lap pushed me.
Us together back 7 years ago. We in Irun. Irun is also right on the French-Spanish border, so it's just like 100 yards or 100 meters.
And if you remember, there was a lot of Czech at the border. A lot of people were Czech and fucked. It was terrible. It was really terrible. It's complicated.
I saw the armed police with machine guns pulling over a car as I was driving out.
Over the bridge. You remember over the bridge? Huge machine gun.
Yeah.
Whoa, it was not nothing. Like Rambo one. Like Sylvester Stallone and Rambo, you know?
Yeah, when you got to Spain, it was a lot freer and less intrusive. But there have been some steps backward in Spain as well.
Also,
closing of the social clubs.
The problem in Spain is that socialists, as usual, at the government now, can't stop. They can, but they haven't stopped the Supreme Court to fucked up local justice and local juntas. So the house rules from Catalonia and Basque Country are destroyed by the decision of the Supreme Court of Madrid. So now there is no more protection for cannabis social club. Federales can go directly. So you know in Spain, federales, they are not cool, really not. They can go directly to club and red.
Fascist background from
yes. Guardia is really fascist police, you know.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
They wiped out a lot of the leftists there, and
oh yes, including with heroin, cheap heroin. You know, a lot of in Basque Country, a lot of cheap heroin to kill all the left activists. It was terrible.
As Picasso displayed in his huge mural, Guernica, which is a town in the Basque coast there. So,
yeah, that's a country with a terrible history, in fact. In the 20th centuries, it was terrible to be Basque, really terrible. But now it's a little bit better, and in France it was better. Also, it was more cool, but it's really new that with the Macron government, we are in the middle of war on drugs like Ronald Reagan one, or near Richard Nixon. You know, crazy, you know, totally crazy.
So the World Health Organization recently descheduled cannabis from its Schedule 1 status. And I know it takes a long time for those kinds of international law changes to filter down to governments. But what is the movement like today in France to try to change that? Do you get much traction in terms of arguing about, well, look, it's legal in half the United States now, and Uruguay? And
yeah, you know, for all the French government, you are crazy people, or you are cowards, or you want the end of the civilization. All the old bullshit coming from America is now finished in America, but growing in France. Insane in the brain situation. It's insane. I'm in America in the time of Ronald Reagan. I heard the same shit.
I was there. We actually had an initiative on the ballot in 1985 and 1986 to legalize marijuana. And Ronald Reagan was the president. Nancy Reagan was starting her Just Say No campaign.
Just say no.
And toured Oregon for 3 days. And George H.W. Bush was the vice president at the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was the drug czar, the first drug czar in America, in charge of the.
He was perfect for the job. He know how to regulate air cocaine from Colombia to America. He was so close to that.
On that, and I have strong belief and proof that he was one of the masterminds behind John F. Kennedy's assassination. He was there that day. And
it's possible. I have also some evidences he was around this shit. But after that, when we are discussing about Coca-Gate and not Watergate, he is in the middle of the Coca-Gate. I'm sure of that. I'm really sure of that.
There with Bill and Hillary in Mena, Arkansas, which was one of their transfers.
That's crazy because now it's history in America. You are really in another age. But in France, no, we are stuck in the middle of this shit. And it's also a problem because they want to win the election with old traditionalist people from the right wing.
So this is the Macron government, which is a new it's a new political party, right? It didn't exist 5 years ago.
But it's not a political party. It's not a political party. It's kleptocracy. Macron is really here for the mega riches, and he's here to take the money out of public hands and to go to private hands. And that's the only goal of Macron. And it's difficult. So it's better to play on the fear, okay? And drug users are perfect to play on the fear. If you are targeting old people more than 60 years, because that's all the propaganda coming in from Ronald Reagan and all this shit, and Thatcher and so on and so on. There was also, they've been there, and they are totally infused in this propaganda. So it's very easy to play on that. And in France, we don't have any people going to vote under 45. We are totally disgusted by the policy.
So there's no younger voters?
No. Last elections, really nothing. Like less than 20%. Mm-hmm. Nothing. And in some cities, including cities with a lot of foreigners' origins, and it could be 15 or 10% only. Okay, so really, that's more and more people from 65 to more than 65 are more than 50% of the voters in France. So last two elections.
On registering to vote, is it difficult to vote in France?
It's crazy, but we have to register it, and a lot of people are not registered. That's not automatical. That's the first problem. And also, from time to time, we have problem like in America with cleaning the lists in a strange way. You know, it's the same like in America.
That's how we got George.
Manipulation like in America. We are not better, but we are doing the same shit. We know how to do it. No problem.
That's exactly how we got George H.W. Bush. They cleaned the lists and other states.
The Florida Nazi party with all the Jewish voting for them.
Yeah,
that's a crazy story of Florida.
It is.
It was crazy. We have the same manipulation in France. Yeah, that's easy. But they don't have to do it now because really, I think most of the population are pro legalization. Really. But this majority is also not going to vote.
But they're not going to vote. So how do you change that in your country? Is there movement like is doing to or what other groups are there that are working to change?
In France, do you know Astérix and Obélix?
No.
No, you don't know Astérix le Gaulois.
No.
It's a comic book. You must read it. It's a comic book. And it explains the life of a little village of Gaulois, the whole French tribe, okay? And in this village, there is only unity when it's time to fight with the Romans. And the rest of the time, it's internal fight all the time, you know?
Right.
All the time. And you have one camp in each house. It's easy. Each house is another party, is another organization with another opinion and ready to fight. That's the real social criticism of the French society. And the French movement and the French movement in politics are for hemp or for cannabis. We are exactly like that. So that's the first problem. In France, it's a problem. We are really radicals and radically I'm not agree with you. That's the problem. So it's first is difficult. Second, we have some historical movement coming from really illegal stuff, when it was difficult to say, I want to legalize cannabis. When you can have cops, when you can go to jail, have a huge fine. I was in court for books or for stuff like that. It was early 80s. 90s.
So you were arrested for having cannabis books?
It was book. It was for organization of rally. It was for posters. It was for a lot of things, including all Jean-Pierre Galland and the Cirque. If you know Jean-Pierre Galland, it's historical in France with books, Fumée clandestine, and stuff like that. It was one of the historical actors in France. And he was in court 5 times.
Really? And so what happened when you went into court 5 times? Did they fine you? Did they?
Yeah, fine. A lot of fine, and also some, as if you don't pay the fine, you go to jail the day you can't pay. We have this kind of system in France. So,
we have in America too.
Yeah, that's a shit. That's a fucking shit. You must find the money, even if you are dealing dopes, to find the money to pay the court.
Right.
A lot of friends of mine was been there. I'm dealing dope to pay my days, or I go to jail. Crazy system.
It is.
It is really. That's fucking crazy. But Jean-Pierre Galland was a lot in the system, with I think 4 years to pay. It was not nothing. Yeah, at the end of all the cases, it was 4 years to pay, and it was like $50 per day. Not nothing.
Wow, that's a lot. 50
euros. Yeah, it was not 50 euro. It was bucks, US.
Oh, okay. They're about the same. There's just like 15-20% difference between the two. Well, is it 75%?
Yeah. I make the ratio. Yeah. But in France now we have also we can have also all the system electronics system with camera and with detectors and all the stuff, and you're at your home but you can't move, nothing shit, and it's long because it could be 2 years maximum, and it's not jail, so the judge give it really easily, no problem, boom, 2 years.
Cool. Stay in your home.
So it's not like it was in the worst states in America, which was crazy with life sentencing and stuff like that. But it's tough. Yeah. It's really tough. And believe me, it's not like in America, but jails in France are dangerous. More than all around Europe, Western Europe. We have really dangerous jail. You don't want to go to jail. Really not. It's really tough. So it's difficult to also take risks, take some risks, like opening a compassion club for patients. I was really near to do it like you, but in France I was not sure to have the same way to escape.
Right.
Like it was in America the last years before legalization, not at the beginning. At the beginning, respect. It was very difficult. But last years, I was thinking to do the same in France, but it was not the same situation. I say, no, we don't take the risk. And with Jérôme, my friend, my former partner, he's dead after we came back from Jamaica. But we was more adventurous, and we was more underground style. But we was producing very small quantity just take the risk without jail at the end. Impossible to take more weight. It's too dangerous. When we have record, it's 5 years, 10 years. So no.
Right. Yeah.
It was a stop. In fact, it was a stop of the expansion. But the clinical use of medical marijuana is in France, and no problem for a lot of people. And it's coming from the 90s. And I think it's still the best solution. Don't change nothing. Self-support of patients is the direct solution. And big cannabis pharma is a solution for bullshit cannabis, insane price, and very restricted list of application. And in France, it's more crazy, it's like in Quebec. They are totally stupid with too much restrictions. All the projects, and we have an official experiment of 3,000 patients, distribution of cannabis coming in from Aurora company. And the price is nothing now, because in France, when you make the first experience, it costs nothing. But we know the price of Aurora in Luxembourg, medical system in Luxembourg price with the fees of administration. It's expensive in Luxembourg. But the final price is $100,000 per kilo. Okay? Wow. It's It's incredible robbery. They are huge gangsters. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Well, there's a huge incentive there at that kind of price. I mean, grows on trees, so.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
He asked you how, I asked this of many of our guests, and I gave you a little warning beforehand. I first started smoking marijuana when I was 11. I was at a babysitter's house. Her son had just come back from Vietnam, and he's the one who first introduced me to marijuana. That was like 1972. So how were you first introduced to cannabis?
First, I'm born in Paris, but popular part of Paris, and I can say more gangsta style of Paris. So cannabis was around me, but it wasn't the same thing in all around Paris. Absolutely not. But I was in the middle of the scene of drug scenes with a lot of heroin, with a lot of cocaine, and with a lot of smoke coming in essentially from people from Algeria, from all the war in Algeria. 1 million people come back, European people. And I was in this area where people from Tunisia, Morocco, and Algeria was living now after be back in France. So there was smoking kiff. There was all smoking kiff.
Powdered hashish.
Not hashish. Hashish was not so popular, but kiff.
Oh, okay.
Only kiff. So half tobacco, half black tobacco, very strong black tobacco, and half kiff, the grass.
I see.
It was traditional.
I could never get used to that myself. I here in America, we just smoke marijuana. So when I was like in the Expo Grow, I went up, somebody handed me what I thought was a marijuana joint, but it was half. I just coughed my head.
I know. I remember I was near you. I remember the cough and the headache and you poisoned me. It's terrible. I remember that.
You get to share my volcano. I know I had my volcano while I was there. I always.
Oh yes, that's when you arrived with the van. You don't know your volcano wasn't on.
Yeah,
I remember the volcano wasn't on. It was really the first hours or minutes, and they go with you with a joint, but a spliff. We are smoking spliff. We are not smoking joint.
Right.
That's the problem, because historically, I can explain. Because historically, we are smoking from we call them pieds noirs, black feet, other people coming back from Algeria, Morocco, and so on. And traditionally, kiff was the way to cut down the taxes on tobacco. Tobacco was very expensive, and with taxes. So the people buying 1 carat of tobacco and one bag of kiff and mixing together in the pipe. And also in France, farmers was doing the same. And in Switzerland also, they were exactly doing the same. So basically, there was smoking pot, but hemp, but no control hemp. Okay? Like Carmagnola without control. Imagine it, Paul.
2 or 3% THC.
Ash could pump up to 20%.
Right.
But with too much CBD inside. So I don't like the effect. But yeah, 20% is the record. You maybe know the guy. It's Franco Corleone. It's the guy from the mountain in the movie of Ariane, the Italian guy.
Yeah,
you remember?
He passed away from malaria when he came back from the Congo. I saw him in Colombia just a month before he died.
I know it's not Franco. You are talking about Franco.
Yeah,
no, not Franco. Not Franco. Franco is really in the team of Strain Hunters. But the guy is the advisor, local advisor was a hippie coming from Franco was a hippie coming from Italia, and he was living in a cave in Manala Valley. You know.
No,
and he's a guy. You don't see. You don't remember? Yeah, you must know. You must meet. You must discuss with Franco. It's incredible with him. He's doing a lot of stuff also, really. A lot of Carmagnola. He's the king of Carmagnola. You must speak with him, really.
Can he
nice
speak
guy.
English?
If he speaks English, globish, for sure. English, maybe not. It's more Italian. And I speak in Italian or in French with him, so I don't know if he speaks English. But to live in India, you must speak a little bit globish, you know? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You must. So
well, we're an English language TV show, so we don't have the ability to put in subtitles or anything. So
yeah, it's a problem. Maybe with Franco it could be a problem, but personally, not for the show, but personally, you must discuss with Franco. He's a very interesting guy, and he's also mixing a lot of seeds and stuff like that to have better hemp, not really better cannabis, and in another hand, better cannabis because he loved charas. That's why he was there. That's all.
We don't have to reintroduce me there online, I guess.
I think I will do because it's interesting to discuss with people from all around the world and with a lot of experiences. And he is really a crazy experience, you know, like Mila. He was near the village of Mila.
In Amsterdam, right? Or you're thinking?
No, Mila when she was in India. Mila was in India during a long time.
Okay.
A long time. So it's the same.
Mila is also in that movie that we did, The Green Guy. She's included in that movie along with Soma.
With the big pollinator, with the long one pollinator designed for Switzerland.
She just communicated with some of the actors. This is a fictional movie. And
no pollinator, but it was fun.
Very psychedelic. It's not like your documentary about hemp in Switzerland. You know, Switzerland invented the initiative petition process, and where you get signatures and then the whole country gets to vote on it, or the whole canton. Yeah. And so we imported that here in Oregon in 1902. Oregon was the first state to have the initiative. Yeah. And then it spread around the rest of the country, but it initially came from Switzerland. Is there any version of that in France?
Yeah, it's coming from France. It was the rule at the First Republic of France. It's coming from the real revolution. The only real revolution in France is the first one, and it was the first constitution.
In 1789.
Yeah, it's true. But fucked up totally by all the rest of the constitution, like we have now. And now we have a little like that coming, but it's very difficult because it's 2 million of voters. So it's a lot. It's very difficult. And it's not like in Switzerland. So it's only a consultation, you know. It's not like a law, like in Switzerland. You can say yes and they say no at the end. In Switzerland, not possible. Not possible.
Yeah. Switzerland, they got enough signatures with the Droleg petition in 1997, and it actually became law. without the vote, and the vote was 5 years later. And I know our United States government, the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, donated 10 million US taxpayer dollars to parent groups in Switzerland to defeat Droleg in that 2002 initiative.
It was not for nothing, because the law about heroin distribution and all the stuff like that is implemented in Switzerland, but Droleg was fucked by the million of US. You know, we lose it. We lose Droleg because of these millions.
Yeah,
but
because
for nothing. But for nothing. In fact, for nothing except for cannabis, because in Droleg there was cannabis.
Yeah.
And the cannabis part go to another process. And in this other process, we were at the last vote, really the last one, with normally win the vote, and 4 liberals switch at the last minute. Okay, and at 6 o'clock in the morning, police at the door. All around Switzerland, Bernard Rappa, André Fürst, all the guys, all the big guys, police, 6 o'clock, police, whoop, whoop, it's the sound of the police.
So
okay.
That was 2005?
I don't remember, it's 5 or 3, I don't know. And after that, we go again with a new initiative, okay? And we lose it again. And we lose it again, but with less shops, so less money to fight, and a lot of money coming in from I don't know where, but a lot of money for the opponents. So not fair, not a fair game. We lose it. So now there is a new thing running, a new experiment running in Switzerland. But it's a slow process. It's scientific experiments. It will take 5 years minimum to go back to the people and to a new initiative. The people are working on a new initiative. The real thing now, if we discuss about initiative, that in Italy, the radical party from Marco Pannella historically, but Marco is dead now, introduced a new law with internet signatures certified to quickly build an initiative.
Uh-huh.
And you must, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I don't remember exactly, you must have 500,000 of official emails.
I see.
Okay, and you run. And when we start the show, we was 4,000 to the goal. It's near win, no problem. And the deadline is the end of the month, so it's win. We're gonna have a vote in Italy, except you have a first check, that's the bullshit, by the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court is also the court who decides that you can have 4 plants of cannabis without any control of THC or the size or what you want, or lamps or outdoor. Each adult may have that. And at the parliament, last week, they vote the first step of the law. Now they go to commission for amendments. But the first step is good. We have the green light.
Okay.
So we have the green light for self-production of 4 plants, and we have an initiative for legalization in Italy. So it's a really quick move, an unbelievable move for this country, and but it's a country of combinazione of Silvio Berlusconi. So it's not win. It's absolutely not win. And remember, in Israel, we was near the 7 plants at home, really near, last vote, and fucking Arabic party come and fucked the vote like liberal fucked us in Switzerland. Like 4 guys coming in Switzerland the last time, and you're fucked.
Oh, no.
This was at the Knesset. At the Knesset 2 months ago. What the fuck? So self-support.
Came in and crushed it in Israel in terms of home drugs.
That's crazy. It was win. The coalition was for this legalization of production at your home. Okay, no problem. It was
Right.
win. And suddenly, no, it's not win. We're against. What? What? Come on, man. It was horrible. For me, it was really a crazy thing, horrible thing. And now we have the same situation in Italy. And if you have a look, the only country with more combination than Italy is Knesset. They are brothers. They are really brothers. So it's not win. It's absolutely not win, but it's a good example, I think, because as you see it in California, big cannabis is killing handcraft quality premium cannabis. Killing.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and big pharma cannabis is also killing the quality of the product. They are
Yeah.
distributing shit.
And they're coming in and taking out local activists, such as myself. I've been
I
attacked
know.
by corporate forces from the Canadian Kronos group, but that's another
Yeah,
story.
I remember. I
So
remember this story, but we have the same all around the world now.
yeah, they're
And
every
I would like to say, if you do it in clubs, but real cannabis club, non-profit organization, not bullshit for tourists like in Barcelona, for example. It's not cannabis social club. It's a business. So forget that. Real cannabis social club and real compassionate self-support for patients. We can do the job, and we do it clean, and we do it without money, public money. We
yeah
do it with our own money,
with
pocket money. We don't
yeah
need more.
right. That's how I've always been. I was able to grow and give away 3,000 kilos, over 3,000 kilos of free cannabis, the highest quality, with no money. I gave it away.
Enough
That
respect, enough
and
respect, enough respect, Paul. Enough respect.
yeah, thank you. It protected me from getting arrested, and my wife and
Yeah.
I got a real nice stash. But yeah, it was
Hey, sorry, Paul. I saw the picture. A very nice stash.
yeah,
Not a nice,
yeah.
a very, very nice stash.
Well, I
That's for
worked
sure.
back in the 80s with Ed Rosenthal and Jorge Cervantes, and so I learned from some of the best out there back then. But so by the way, I think Lyon is such a beautiful city. The river there, it's colored with the glaciers of Switzerland, the turquoise blue, and
Mm.
I just drove through, but I made a few pictures, and it was a nice sunny day, and so I have fond memories. So, and I know you have
Ah,
a great restaurant scene in Lyon as well.
we have, I don't know how many restaurants, but the problem in Lyon, they like to put butter in cream with
Uh,
fat.
uh,
And yeah, I'm too old for this shit.
yeah,
My doctors is not tell me stop that
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
So it's difficult because I like it, I love, but I must stop the traditional way of eating in Lyon because it's terrible. It kills you. So really difficult. And also they are drinking so much alcohol. It's crazy, crazy, really crazy. And also that the alcohol in all the business and including political, we must stop in France. It's a disaster. We drink too much, and it's not possible to make good businesses. We have problem. We are killing our wives. We are doing a lot of shit because we are drinking 2 times more than Americans.
I know half the people in prison here in the United States are there for things they did when they were drunk. They can't even remember half the time.
Yeah.
So we're about out of time here.
Yeah.
So if someone is wanting to find out more about your organization or the activist, is there anything you can point to say, look at this
More easy
report?
if they don't close my page because it's very difficult now. More easy now is Facebook because I don't have so much time for social media and I close all the rest. Okay,
Right.
I would like to organize a lot of stuff about self-support, and I don't have time so much now for social media. I must organize real stuff to do the medicine. If you understand. So I have to choose to spread my time. But I write in French. You know that. You look at my Facebook. I write a lot of stuff.
Facebook translates it for me. Probably not always the best
No,
translation.
that's a problem. But you must find some translators, better translators. There are really advanced translators now. Really, have a look on it because that's really a new world. Translation is really entering in a new world, so you can find something. But my French is not official one. I'm speaking really a slang. That's also a fact. That's not so easy for translator. But I can speak English and I can speak also Italian and I can speak in real French if people are speaking real French. It's not a problem. So
Well,
if you want to have information and to contact me, the best way is Laurent Appel on Facebook. No problem.
Okay.
And if you're a friend of Paul Stanford, it's better because if you have no friends, I will not accept you. I don't think so.
That's what I do too. You got to have some friends like Laurent Appel. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, Laurent. And
pleasure and an honor.
Tell me about this 7-year thing in France. Is that you said there's a tradition in France after 7 years?
It's a way to, in slang, we are using different unities, and a lustre is 7 years, and it's a lot. It's really a long time. When we say it's a lustre, there is a lustre, a lot of lustre. It's a long, long time. So one is too much, Paul. We have to find a way to see each other really quickly now.
Well, you're always welcome to come here to America. If you come here, October is the best time to see the harvest.
I know that, but I don't know if I will be green or red at the border. That's my problem with America.
Do they test you going out? They test you like
possible to be. It's possible. It's possible to be tested going out, and if they Googled me or stuff like that, or if they are real old, before really big computers, I think it will not be green. It could be red. So it's a little bit touchy for me to go to America directly. But you're not so far away from Canada, so maybe I can go with Kaidu or stuff like that with a Bombardier. Like all smugglers. It could be fun to make a movie also. I would like to make a movie like that, to go with the cannabis smugglers, with the bombardiers, and go directly to your home. It could be fun. And also, I'm old now, and I have to take the risk, because it's very old story now. It's coming from George W. Bush and all the shit of the war, and I was not so for America. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's a long time ago.
Hate both Bushes and Trump and the Republican fascists.
But I was maybe too much on my face on TV and in front of a U.S. embassy and stuff like that. So they've got some records of me, That's a problem.
Well, if you have some cannabis event in France, or if they ever invite me to go back to Irun, I hope to see you there. I
will see you maybe in other parts of America. I have no problem to go to Colombia, to Jamaica, to a lot of good cannabis country. And I will be very happy to see you in Negril with my friend in Negril. It could be a good spot to see you.
I haven't been in Jamaica in ages. I just got an invite to Bogota for next month, March. And I have a trip going to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, in about 2 weeks.
If I organize it well, I can take you to Orange Hill, smoke the original weed from Peter Tosh. I have my contacts on Orange Hill. I'm a member of a mafia of Orange Hill. No problem. We can go there. It could be a very nice movie, believe me.
Peter really. Tosh, my favorites. Well, thank you, Laurent, and thanks for coming on. And keep working to restore him.
Yeah, we don't discuss a lot about hemp because in France, for me, it's industrial version or nothing because we don't have real good players. It's jokers from CBD business, CBD shit, crystalline of CBD spread with synthetical aromas and stuff like that. We have the worst of the CBD business. So I prefer to discuss of industrial application with real industrials in France and forget the rest. That's all. That's a short summarize of the situation of my position. Okay, but I love hemp, and you know that. I love your paper, and you know that. I'm not against hemp, but real true hemp and real true cannabis. Don't mix it, please. Don't mix it.
Yeah.
Stop that shit. Okay.
Very
Bye-bye,
good.
Paul. It was very, very funny to discuss with you. Very.
It's been a lot of fun for me too,
Okay.
Laurent. Thank
See
you.
you.
Right. See you next time.
Ça vient de Suisse, c'est l'huile essentielle de chanvre. On met seulement l'huile essentielle de chanvre, ouais, de Suisse. C'est sans THC.
Es muss in die Medizin kommen, Hanf. Wir müssen von dieser Natur leben können. Ich nehme keine Medizin.
Keine Marihuana.
Das brauchte ich vielleicht.
We develop techniques to separate the THC crystal from the plant. It was Lebanon and Afghanistan and in the Himalayas. That was really the hash producing countries. Now in Europe there's a lot, and especially in Holland, of course, and more recently Switzerland has become a very big substantial country for growing. This is the one for Switzerland.
This is the one for Switzerland.
I don't know if the Swiss are happy, but in Canada they would like it, and maybe some in Holland. And you can just have your bag and you just shovel it in.
C'est le produit bio par excellence. D'après moi, hein, c'est vraiment le produit bio.
C'est la seule plante que le paysan peut semer et puis partir en vacances 2 mois, puis venir, puis moissonner. Il n'y a rien à faire. Rien. Quand tu le fais en culture industrielle, tu n'as rien à faire.
L'hydroponie est un système qui est très propre, très rapide, très léger, très maniable. Donc le cannabis est en train de se développer dans les villes, les grandes agglomérations. Les gens ont cherché un moyen de pouvoir cultiver leurs plantes. Une des idées principales du cannabis business lorsqu'il a été créé au départ, c'était de dire nous voudrions montrer à la société que tout en fumant du cannabis, nous sommes capables d'être des gens responsables, bien insérés dans la société, créateurs d'emplois, en bonne santé avec des familles qui fonctionnent bien.
Believe me or not, you know, this kind of business is now 5 years, but I'm working with this plant more than 30 years.
But you're working with the cannabis to smoke, not with hemp.
Not only to smoke, because we also make varieties in the sense of seed. We make a variety for industrial hemp, so for fiber hemp. And we had it on the European list of fiber hemp. So it's not only smoking and enjoying it, but also my jacket is hemp. My underwear is hemp. My socks, they are hemp. So, can I use it? Yes. My paper, we produce paper catalogs on hemp paper. You can do it. I'm talking this story now for over 15 years. And in this kind of business, you can see the proof I was right.
Oh là là, ça c'est super. On commence à avoir la moisissure. C'est le moment de récolter. Ces jours-ci, on récolte beaucoup. Il fait beau. 1970, pour la première fois de ma vie, avec un copain agriculteur de Saxon, on a 17 ans, on part à Amsterdam. Déjà à l'époque, c'est fou, hein, Amsterdam attirait comme ça. Et là, à la place du Dam, il y avait les hippies en permanence. Et pour la première fois, on a fumé du chanvre. Ah, je m'en rappelle bien parce que les 2 premières fois, aucun effet. On était tellement tendus que tu sens quelque chose, rien. Et la 3e fois, on était détendus, on pensait déjà à autre chose. Et là, on a ressenti les effets du chanvre. On a ramené 500 grammes de chanvre qu'on a acheté là-bas par lot de 50 grammes de l'herbe marocaine qu'on ne trouve plus de nos jours sur le marché européen. Il y avait de la thaïlandaise, de l'indienne, il y avait de la jamaïcaine. C'était un cocktail quasiment mondial. Il y avait de l'Amérique centrale aussi, la mexicaine. L'année suivante, donc 71, je choisis des graines de tout ce lot et puis je sème pour la première fois du chanvre. Comme tous les paysans du monde, j'ai fait une sélection naturelle. C'est-à-dire j'ai consommé le meilleur chanvre que j'avais, celui qui me plaisait le mieux. J'ai gardé les graines de ce chanvre-là et je les ai ressemées chaque année. Et à la longue, il y a une sélection naturelle qui a été effectuée par moi et la nature. Cette variété s'est adaptée à notre climat, s'est adaptée complètement. Moi, j'étais le premier agriculteur à recultiver du chanvre en Suisse. C'était en 93. Et puis en 93, on était parti sur la tisane de chanvre, mais on a eu un problème avec un juge, il a détruit la récolte. Nous, on a tout bêtement interprété la loi à notre façon, qui est juste. Hein. Il est interdit de cultiver le chanvre en vue de produire des stupéfiants. Nous, on a cultivé du chanvre en vue de produire autre chose, c'est-à-dire de l'huile alimentaire. Et c'est là que vraiment on était connus dans les médias, c'était le lancement de l'huile de chanvre des Alpes. Le juge avait séquestré les cultures, après il était obligé d'autoriser la moisson. Et c'est en 1995 qu'on a vu en Suisse arriver d'autres agriculteurs qui cultivaient du chanvre. Et tant mieux, il faut que le chanvre soit cultivé partout, dans tous les cantons.
You grew this?
A whole field.
Unfortunately, this is the last of it.
And we won't be growing anymore.
In Switzerland? You know it's legal to grow pot there.
What? We need passports.
Oh!
So you think you can just come over to Europe, grow some weed, and make a whole bunch of money?
I am so high right now. You'd be interested in buying some potpourri?
Can I have another one?
Don't act like you've never seen a telepathic cow before.
Place the corn we grow with the green we know. She's the tree of life. It's a beautiful day to give the green goddess praise for these beautiful days. From the words that I say to the music I play, I bring the green goddess praise.